Welcome everyone to my IDC 41 run. This is the final Swiss round where I'm up against Pitikman at the top of your screen, who is playing Water Fire Nature Aggro, and I'm at the bottom of your screen playing Light Water Dark Hydro Hurricane with Chimeras. I'm gonna win a die roll, which is going to help a little bit against this deck. Gonna allow me to draw cards or set up defenses a bit quicker. I don't think he's playing the Rebirth version. I think he's just playing a normal beatdown version. So here I'm just gonna play Energy Stream, and next turn I can either summon a blocker or go for Gigazald. Now, from what I've been told, he's playing a lot of things like Wind Axe and Searing Wave, so if that's the case, I think the best case scenario is to actually go for Gigazald, because were I to summon one blocker, he will just die to Searing Wave or Wind Axe for free, so... And then I'll be in a very rough spot, so... I think going for Gigazald is better. I get to discard a card in hand and can also trade with a Bronze Tribe next turn. So that's exactly what I do. Seems like I hit a lucky ball there, which is not too bad. Tapping 3 mana for Aquahulkus. Whatever cards he has in hand, he wants to keep them. Maybe he has a Wind Axe, maybe he has Arc, who knows. I imagine he would go in here. I don't think there's a reason to hold back. And he just passes the turn for some reason. This turn I'm just going to evolve the Gigazald, take advantage of the fact that he didn't attack and just discard another card from his hand. And I hit a Searing Wave, which is very good for me because now I can start summoning blockers next turn. And there's a Gigazald out of shield to also discard the Wind Axe, so I got rid of Searing Wave and Wind Axe at the same time. This turn I can summon 2 blockers, Paralysis and a Gigaslug, and also trade with take out the Bronze Tribe and the Gonta, and just hope he doesn't top deck some kind of removal. Oh, okay, never mind, I can actually summon Laura Gigas there. That's even better. It helps when you know what cards your opponent is playing. That's why doing reconnaissance before a match is so important, because now, knowing that he's on Searing Wave and Wind Axe, it allowed me to shift my game plan accordingly. So now I would most likely go for Miraculous Plague, giving back the Quixotics and probably the Fire mana. Yeah, I should probably give him the Fire mana. Okay, I give him the Water mana because I have a chance to get rid of it. And he gets rid of it for me, so not bad. So now he only has Fire and Nature mana, which means no draw for him. And yeah, this turn I'm probably just gonna go for Paralysis. I would maybe even charge the Cranium Clamp just to be on more mana for when I top deck Energy Stream. Because he doesn't really have draw power with being on only fire and nature. And luckily the last card he was holding was just a Searing Wave. And I just set up another Paralysis, and at some point I can just go for Hydro Hurricane, start discarding his cards. I'm even gonna play another Gigazald here. This turn I can afford to go for Hydro Hurricane, send 3 mana back to his hand, most likely the Searing Wave, Scarlet and Pig. And I'm not gonna send back the Bronze Try because I don't want him to ramp. And at least I get to get rid of the Scarlet Sky Terror, so that's very good. There's a Gigaballs, and now I can even think about attacking, taking 1 shield at a time. Though that could be a bit risky if I hit into a Surfer, can bounce a blocker, then he plays Wind Axe. But I take the risk. And he's just gonna keep summoning creatures, gonna use this time to snare one of them. And even evolve the Gigaballs, and yeah, just discard the Gonta I snared. And I just keep top decking snares, so I can just send those creatures directly into the graveyard. There's a Wind Axe, which is gonna get rid of Paralysis, but I get a Laura Giga. At this point I really have to think if I wanna break shields, because one Surfer here followed by a Wind Axe or a Galclife or whatever would spell doom for me. So I just kinda have to hold back a bit. And I'm holding on to this Laura Giga just in case I top deck Mystria, so I can summon it right alongside it like this and draw an extra card in the same turn. It's always good to do this if you're in a position where you don't have to summon an extra blocker. Thinking ahead is important. Six mana is probably, I was gonna say Jagalzor, but yeah, Terror and Aqua Surfer gonna bounce the Mystrias here. At this point I could go for Bellix into Hydro. Could even just bounce 3 creatures and just go for game, no, don't even need to discard the cards. I would even charge the Energy Stream just to have extra mana, to be honest. Probably I'm gonna bounce Wind Axe, Gonta, Surfer and and then 5 mana. And at this point, okay, so for some reason I decide to discard, and I do hit a Bronze Drive there. Honestly, I could have probably gone for game at this point, but hitting into a couple of surfers could have slowed me down quite significantly, so that's probably why I didn't do it. But at this point, with another Hydro Hurricane, I can just bounce his remaining mana, all of his creatures, and just go for game. Pretty safe to do so, even if there's Aqua Surfers. And yeah, that's game 1. Now I go into game 2, where he's gonna be on the play. Looks like I'm gonna have a nice curve of Laura Giga into Belix into Miraculous Snare. I'm thinking about charging Belix, but honestly... Okay, I can see why I'm thinking about Paleolysis, because he does play Searing Waves, and I kinda need those Paleolysis to boost my other creatures. And besides, he's not playing Rush, so it's not like I have to play a blocker on every single turn. I just need enough blockers and more relevant blockers. He's gonna go in with Pyrofighter first, and he hits into a Gigabalza, which snipes the Arche de la Serna during his turn, so that means the de la Serna's effect isn't gonna come in. And yeah, I'm already in a good position because Magnus has to go back to hand. I can snare his Gonta. And now he can't really afford to just go in with Magnus, because he's losing tempo that way. The Magnus just keeps going back to the hand, so he has to replay it every single time. Just gonna set up a Paleolysis here, so if he has Searing Wave, at least the Laura Giga is gonna survive. And he breaks into a Spiral Gate, and I decide not to use it because I don't want to give him a Lucky Ball back to draw more cards. Instead, I just summon Petrova to boost Guardian's power and just run over it. So there's a Pyrofighter and a Bronze Tribe. This turn I could go for Mistrias or Double Blocker. I have to think if it's worth to play the Mistrias, and if there's any way he can win with me being on one blocker and one shield. The only combination of creatures which would give him the victory is a Unicorn Fish and a Pyrofighter. But I'm thinking that if he's playing so many Wind Axe and Searing Waves and other ways of getting rid of blockers, then he would probably have to cut the unicorn fishes out. And I think it's the correct read because I've only really seen Hulkus, Lucky Ball and Aqua Surfer, so Aqua Surfer by himself can't really do it. And he's just gonna play the Aqua Surfer, bounce the Laura Gigas, which is gonna allow him to go for the last shield. So this turn I'm probably just gonna snare the Aqua Surfer, run over the Bronzen Tribe, and summon 2 blockers on top of that. Thinking about charging Gigazald because more than likely to summon another one. So yeah, I'm just gonna snare the Aqua Surfer, and I'm gonna keep in mind that it's in the shields. So yeah, it's just gonna play Bronzen Tribe here, which is gonna draw me another card. I didn't even draw for turn yet. I guess we're just gonna count the draw from Gonta as the draw for turn. This turn I could potentially go for Gigaslug into Gigazald. Or I might just go for Miraculous Plague because he would have to replay the Bronze Tribe and give me more draws. So I don't really mind that he's charging again because he's also gonna give me more cards to work with once he plays the Bronze Tribe. But he put the Bronze Tribe into the graveyard. Maybe he values the power. Gonna charge the Pyro Fighter here and just play a Lucky Ball and a Gonta. At this point I could potentially play a Gigaslug and bounce 3 of his mana cards and both of his creatures. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna charge the Terror Pit because it costs too much. And I kinda have to play it safe by going for Gigaballs, no Gigaballs, Gigaslug into Hydro. Put him on 4 mana. And there's also the case where he can reach 7 mana, play Souls Up for Scarlet Sky Terror. Pitikman is asking Aqua Sniper. I think I'm gonna play something even better than Aqua Sniper here in a moment. Because I do have to play around Scarlet Sky Terror. Salsa for Scarlet Sky Terror would really hurt here. So yeah, I'm just gonna go for it, giving back the lucky balls and one Pyrofighter. I don't even care if he summons Lucky Ball again, to be honest. Because he's gonna give me some extra draw power, extra cards as well. I'm thinking here if it's worth going in for shields, but I think it's a bit too early for that. I also have to play around Searing Wave a bit. I'm not sure how many Searing Wave he has left. So I'm probably just gonna start by playing a Gigabalza and then maybe Miraculous Snare into Palawalysis. So he has one Searing Wave in the grave. I'm not sure why I'm doing this if I have double Palawalysis. Yeah, because Petrova is boosting the Guardians, not the Chimeras. But to be fair, I can afford to do it if I have a Gigazald set up. Thinking about playing around deck out, which is why I don't draw cards here. And he's attacking with Gonta, forgetting that I'm boosting the Guardians. Again, he's asking me if he can take back the move, but in a tournament you have to own up to your mistakes. It's also how you grow as a player, because those lessons will stick if you're punished for them and you can't take them back. So here I'm probably just gonna discard his remaining cards in hand and even play double Palawalysis. Gonna top deck of Indexes, which is gonna kill Palawalysis. I'm gonna draw one card, which is the Logic Cube. So I can now potentially search for the remaining Miraculous Plague, because my Hydros are in the mana zone. So I'm just gonna grab a Miraculous Plague with a Logic Cube and cast it immediately on the 2 Warrior Savages and the Water Mana. And I could potentially even start going in at this point. He doesn't have too many creatures. So I'm just gonna go in one by one and discard with Gigazald. There's a Soul Swap, so it's probably gonna swap out my Gigazald. But luckily I do have an extra Gigazald, so I can keep going for shields safely. This turn I'm gonna set up Ice Vapor and evolve that Gigaslag into Gigazald. Start taking out more shields and discarding them at the same time. And yeah, he's on 3 remaining shields, and I know that last shield is an Aqua Surfer, so I just need to play around that. I could even be super safe and snare the Aqua Volcus. Yeah. And then just go for the remaining shields here, and there's an Aqua Surfer, which not sure if it's gonna bounce the Gigazald, but I can just resummon it back next turn. And yeah, I'm not going in for more shields just in case he somehow put a Holiotech in his rug. You never know what players get up to these days. And he's playing a Soul Swap to get rid of my Ice Vapor, swap it out for a blocker. And I'm just gonna play a Terror Pit here, get rid of the Aqua Surfer, take the last shield, break that Aqua Surfer out and finish him off. And yeah, that's pretty much game. So I'm gonna take this match 2-0, and yeah, I believe I have 4 matches won and 2 lost, so I think I'm going into top 8. But yeah, my deck should be on the screen for those of you who are interested, and until next time, see ya.